Resume recording. Okay, so lie down. Let's start with the grounding right off the back. So you're gonna lie down. And even here, like in terms of holding tension, that's often why, our backs are tired or sore. It's like all this tension we hold in the lower body. So it's always this lift of the hips, always this lift of the thighs. So even here, see if you inhale, can you inhale more deeply into your belly? Now I know the lungs don't go down that far, but allow your body to accommodate the breath that far down. And if you feel like there's any constriction there, right? See if you can draw the breath in such that you feel the tops of the thighs push away from you. You can use your hands on the tops of your thigh bones, your femurs, right? Just at the creases of your hips. And you can just gently push them away from your head to create a little bit more space in the belly. It creates a little more tension in the upper body, but it allows a release in the lower. And something to think about is when you look at your breath without changing it right now, we're not trying to change the tempo. We are trying to make it deeper, but without changing the tempo, is the exhalation shorter than the inhale? Because that is also very stressful. That's that kind of very strange breathing. So take your hands down and see if you can move just into a gentle timing of the breath. So as you inhale, say for 3 to 4 counts, your count, full count. And then try to double that count as you exhale. So you'll inhale for 3 to 4, and then exhale for 6 to 8. So you're taking off the gas, the acceleration on the exhale, making it longer than inhale. And your counts are your counts. So whatever count that is, just make the exhale longer than the inhale. We're going to do this for about 1 more minute. You might even see that as you continue this practice, your counts might get longer naturally, and allow that to happen. And on your next exhale, walk your feet so that they're hip distance apart. Knees are straight up into the sky. And on your next exhale, round your lower back. You can let go of the count. And as you inhale, tailbone points down towards the floor, lower back lifts up off the floor. So cat-cow supported. Exhaling, rounding, Inhale, arching the lower back away from the floor. And again, notice where the breath is going. Are you rushing the breath? So often we try to lead with the movement. See if you can lead with the breath to inspire the movement. And notice the rocking of the chin. On the inhale, the chin pulls down. On the exhale, it might gently lift up. Gently stretching the neck. And also, if you're new to me, it's legal to linger. So if you want to hold at any point the arch or the rounding of the lower back, please do so. If that feels right for you, if that feels good. And on your next exhale, interlace your hands behind your head, elbows out. Take a deep breath in. Chin comes down. Exhale, round the lower back, pull your elbows together, lift your upper back off the floor, and then gently come down on the inhale. So we're not trying to do a crunch. The crunch happens in sympathy as you gently enhance the curvature of the spine in the upper back, the thoracic spine, part of the spine. And again, legal to linger. And not only can you go up, but you can go side to side. More times. On your next exhale, let the hands go down to the sides. So we're going to go side to side now. So as you inhale, reach your right hip towards your right heel. Left hip will lift up towards your left ear. And then exhale, come to center. And then inhale, left hip reaches to your left heel. Right hip lifts up towards your right ear. So it's a little side to side, like a shimmy. And once you get moving with the breath, especially on the inhale, think about expanding that side of the rib cage to inspire the movement of the hip to drop. So it's like your breath is getting in the way of the hip. The hip has to move away to accommodate the breath. And you can stay here with the knees bent. Or on your next exhale, reach the legs out. And then inhale, reach to the heels as opposed to the sit bones. So inhaling, reaching. And then exhaling, coming to center. If this is too much, you can go back to knees bent. And on your next exhale, interlace your hands behind your head. And this time, as you inhale, reaching to one side, lift the same side elbow. So my right heel is reaching down, my right elbow is reaching up and away towards the direction my head is pointing. So you're sliding. Again, legal to linger any point along the way. And you can turn your head to go with that movement, either down or up. Neither one of them is right, just what feels good to you. Couple more times. And if you need to keep pulsing on one side, because that feels good, please do that. Always coming back to what feels right to you. Because we're asymmetrical figures, right kind of tension in the left. And then on your next exhale, let go of the arms, let go of the legs, relaxing. And then from here, turn the toes straight up, kneecaps straight up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee. And then from here, you're going to push your right foot down and lift your right hip up off of the floor. And exhale and come back. It's a gentle twist, half bridge, if you will. Again, linger here. If you find any stickiness in the back side of the body or even the front, and then on your next exhale, interlace your hands behind your head just like before. And then when you inhale, lift your right hip up and then take your right elbow, if you're on the right side, and reach your right elbow down towards the right heel. And then inhale, or exhale, come down. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale, come down. And again, you can turn the head if that feels right for you. So exploring what's going on in the back right side of the body. What's going on in there. More times. On your next exhale, let go of the arms. And then we're going to move a slightly different way in the lower body. So you're going to lift your right foot up off the floor, and then inhale and twist, and then exhale, come down. So the right foot, your case, the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. As you inhale, you're going to twist and take the right knee up and over to the left, and exhale and come down. And then next time you do that, rotate your right hand towards, like, over the thumb, and the pinky finger comes down last, and then exhale, come down. So you're going to reach the right arm out to the right, and then when you inhale, you're going to twist the right hand such that the pinky finger comes down last, and then exhale, come down. So you're going to get into all that fascia. It goes up and through the back and into the shoulder. So getting deeper into that twist and into the lower back. Couple more times here. Leave it to linger any step of the way. And then on your next exhale, come relax and feel. Compare the right to the left. I feel like for me, the right side is just more alive, more inflated, if you will. What does it feel like for you? And we'll go on to the left side. So point the kneecap straight up, toes straight up, bend your left knee, and we begin again left side. So pushing the left foot down on the inhale, lifting your left hip up, and then exhale, come. Moving the breath. And on your next exhale, when your hip comes down, keep your hands behind your head and go into that side slide. Left elbow slides down towards the left heel, inhaling. And a little linger here as it gets deeper. If you find a place that you want to explore with a hold and a breath, please do that. Couple more times. How is this side different than the right? And on your next exhale, release the arms. You're going to step your left foot a little bit closer to the inside of your right thigh. And then from here, you're going to inhale, take the knees over, the left knee over to the right, and exhale, inhale. And then keep going. Again, be able to linger if you want to hold the twist. And then from here, you can start to add the left arm. So take the left arm out to the side, and then when you inhale, twist, you're going to flip over the thumb, so the pinky finger comes down last, and then coming up. Inhale, coming up. And notice the difference on this side. So really getting into that cross talk in the lower back, upper back, shoulders. And go all the way down to the glute. Left shoulder to right glute. So you can feel that. One more time. And then coming down, relaxing feet. Doing a little bit more hip opening work. So bend your knees. Place your right shin on top of your left thigh. And then from here, cat-cow like we did in the beginning. So exhaling, rounding. You're going to get out of that right hip. Inhale and lifting your lower back up off the floor. Trying to reach to your right sit bone away from your head, moving into the right hip. So you might find you have a little tickle of an opening. So exhaling, pulling out of that tickle, and then inhaling, moving into the tickle of the open. Now, depending on how open your hips are, when you inhale, you might be able to deepen it by picking your left heel up off the floor. So it causes your right shin to come closer toward your face. Exhale, come down. So inhaling, lifting the lower back off the floor, moving into the right hip, and exhaling and coming down. Hips govern the lower back. You can see here, you can start to really focus on the lower back. You can inspire the hips to open, as opposed to the top going in the other direction, the conversation going from hip to lower back. Because often we open the hips by rounding the back, or actually not by rounding the back will round so that we will avoid the hip. This is all very unconscious. So here we're being very conscious about lifting the lower back so the back doesn't have to suffer because the hip is opening. And you're focusing super pointedly into the opening of the right hip, keeping the lower back safe and out. And now you can even play with it more. So as you inhale, maybe lift your right foot or sorry, your left foot off of the floor. Exhale, take it down and round the lower back. If your right hip needs more sensation, if you want more of that tickle, but don't do it at the expense of rounding your lower back into the floor. That's for the exhale. So inhale, lower back comes off of the floor. Maybe you lift your left foot up off the floor to get deeper into the right hip. And exhale, come down. It's just another bus stop. All on the same journey of opening up the right hip. A couple more times here. And then on your next exhale, hold lower back into a neutral position. And now we're going to go into the twist. So from here, you're going to take your knees over to the right on an exhale. And then when you inhale, with your mind's eye, lead from the lower left side of your back, so your sacrum, the left side of your sacrum. So when you inhale, pull up from there, as opposed to kind of lumbar area, moving more towards your hip with your hip. So exhale, moving into gravity's pull, and then inhaling, pulling up against gravity using the back left side of your sacrum. Once you have that, when you exhale, maybe you can turn your head to the left, and then inhale it from there. If that feels good to you. Again, legal to linger any step of the way. You might feel this in your abs, so the obliques on the left side. More breaths. On your next exhale, take your right shin off of your left thigh, right foot on the floor, and then switch sides, left shin on top of your right thigh. And we start again, cat-cow. So exhale, round your lower back, moving out of the hip, and then inhaling with great curiosity, what's going to go on in this hip? I know for me, my left hip is so different from my right. Looking for the tickle of the opening on the inhale. And then maybe looking for more intensity if that's where your body wants to go, by picking your right heel up off the floor as you inhale. Exhale, round the lower back, right foot comes down. And then inhale, lower back comes off of the floor, moving deliberately into the left hip, and then exhaling. So much sensation comes from opening up the hips. And then if you'd like to, if it feels right, you can pick your right foot up off the floor as you inhale to pull that left shin in closer towards your face, and then exhale, come out of it, But make sure when you do that, when you inhale and you pick the foot up, you're not rounding your lower back into the floor. Lower back stays arched up off of the floor. But any step of the way, in terms of bus stops, you can hang out there so you don't have to pick the foot up. You can just pick the heel up, or if that's super sensational, then in its kind of sensory overload, you can keep the heel down. All of our hip situations are unique, not only in terms of what the history of our hips are, but also what the anatomy of our hips are. So we can differ so much from each other just in terms of anatomy, which speaks to the range of motion that is possible from our hips. So nowhere along the way should there be like some sort of weird judgment that comes from how far you can go in terms of depth in terms of a hip. It's super unique. The only important thing here is to feel the tickle. Tickle of the opening. Okay, then coming into neutral, we're going to go into that twist. So exhale, moving with gravity. Inhaling, leading with the back of your right hip up against gravity. And then exhaling, coming down. Lingering any step of the way. And you don't even have to linger like at the extreme. You can linger about halfway into it if that feels right. You can explore a slower descent if that feels right. And you might feel the opening on this side to be so much different and in different places than on the other. Couple more times. You can turn the head, give the neck a gentle stretch. On your next inhale, coming up, release the shin, release the legs, relax and feel. Bend your right knee, place your right foot on the floor. Take your left foot pointing away from you and pull it in over towards the right, so it points over to the right bottom corner of your mat, away from your face. You can feel a little bit of an opening on the outside of the tip and into the abs on the left side of the body. And reach your both your arms up, not your right arm. Both your arms up. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and then you're going to stretch. You're going to pull very gently with your right hand and stretch as you inhale the left side of the body. You can even turn your head towards your left bicep. And breathe. Wait for the adaptation of the body to the pose, the opening. And then inhale, release the hands. Take the left leg back to the center. Straighten your right leg, bend your left knee. Reach your right heel towards the bottom left corner of your mat. So you feel that opening on the right side. Reach both arms up. With your left hand, grab your right wrist. Very gently roll up out of the waistline. Stretching your right arm up, and then you can even turn your head to face your right bicep. Again, waiting for the body to complete the pose. Be patient with it. And then release the arms, release the legs, relaxing. Okay, one at a time, roll over onto the good side, push yourself up, and go find your blankets or towels, whatever you've got to sit on. And what you want to do is find your seat, which means when you sit cross-legged, your knees are below the crests of your hips. So that's really important, so you don't feel like you're falling backwards. So it may be 2, 3 towels plus a couple of books and some pillows, whatever it takes. But if you're sitting in an easy sitting pose, like you did when you were a kid, you want to make sure your knees aren't up and you're falling backwards. You want the knees to be down and the knees to be lower than the crests of your hips or equal height. Okay, so once you have that, there. Good. Okay, so from here, you've got the proper height. You're gonna stretch out the legs to see how they're doing. And then you're gonna gently take your right foot into the inside of your left thigh. And then take your hands back. And notice your lower back. It may be rounding and you may be kind of scrunched down. See if you can, the chest is easy to lift. The harder part is that lower back sacral area to pull that in. It's almost like the middle back and upper back will do it, but the lower back is a little resistant to it because we're sitting. So sometimes it's easier to back off on the upper back a little bit, round a little bit in the upper back, and then pull the lower back in first, and then lift your chest up. Keeping that, take your left hand to the outside of your right knee, take a deep breath in, lift up, and exhale and twist over to the right. Notice if your left sit bone gets lighter, and try to reach into your left sit bone more. And then inhale, look forward, take a breath, and then inhale, undo the twist. Be careful to not hyperextend the left knee. So if you need to, you can support that knee with another towel or blanket so that you're not hyperextending in the knee. For me, that's easy to hyperextend, so I have to be cognizant to not do that. Now, from here, see if you can take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Is that okay? Okay. So you can stay here, lean forward, and see what you got. What's going on? Is it in the right hip? You can start to feel it on the outside of the left leg. So this is bus stop number 1. Bus stop number 2, you would pile the knee, the right knee on top of the left knee, optional, totally optional. And then you gently start to lean forward. And then there's this sensation on the outside of the left leg. So being very careful to not lock the left knee. And if you want to move in deeper, the lower back should do the work, not the chin, but it's really in the lower back is where the magic happens. Like when we were doing on our backs and we were doing crossing the shin on top of the thigh, even here you want to see if you can move into that left leg by pulling the lower back in, as opposed to pulling your chin or head forward. And then inhale, come up, release, take both legs forward. And then bend your left leg, take your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. And then and see if you can get to that lower back again. So allow the upper back to round to give some slack to the lower back to pull in. And then from here, lift your chest. Take your right hand around into the outside of your left knee. Take a deep breath and lift. Exhale and gently twist. Again, see if your right sit bone has gotten lighter and see if you can reach more into your right sit bone. Again, playing with that crosstalk in the body. So you can imagine it's your right sit bone that's the anchor point, even though your left shoulder is so far in the terms of the twist. Finding the connection between the two. Then being very careful, inhale, look forward, take a breath, and then inhale, undo the twist. Then place your bus stop number 1, place your left foot to the outside of your right knee, staying here. Bus stop number 1. You're getting plenty of opening in the hip. And then gently start to lean forward. Bus stop number 2, making sure to not hyperextend your right knee, maybe supporting it. Pile the knees and go into the forward fold. Not trying to lean with the body and the arms and everything, like urging towards the foot. Really looking to lift that lower back in and up. So you can even take your hand kind of on your lumbar, just above the sacrum, and think about lifting that up. So it's that little lift, a little encouraging the lumbar. A couple more breaths here. And then inhale, come on up. Release, and you can shake the legs out. All right. Last one. So from here, you're gonna cross the legs. Feet are underneath your knees. So actually for this one, you're gonna have your left shin in first and your right shin in second. So very specific order of the shins coming in. And then take your hands behind you, lower back pulls in, lift your chest up. Reach your left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the outside of your right knee. Take a deep breath in. Reach into your left sit bone, and then exhale and deepen the twist. So with every inhale, see if you can root more into your left sit bone. And with every exhale, see if you can deepen the twist. Inhale, look forward. Don't undo the twist in the rest of the body until you're on your next inhale. So exhale, and then you inhale to come out of the twist. Switch the legs. Right shin comes in first, left shin comes in second. Depending on your body, this will be the wrong side or the right side. Take your hands behind you, lower back pulls in, then your chest lifts up. Lift your right arm up, give a nice stretch. And then exhale, take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, take a deep breath in. Exhale, deeper twist. As you inhale, reestablish anchoring into your right sit bone. And exhale and twist. And every inhale, reach more into the right sit bone. As you exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, look forward. Still holding the twist. On your next inhale, undo the whole twist. And then we're gonna set ourselves up for a restorative. So you guys who know me, this one would be that crooked rook pose. So it requires the pillows and the 2 towels or blankets. So for your lumbar support, you're gonna fold up 1 blanket. I like to do the fan fold, so not just a roll, because then you avoid hot spots. And you're gonna place that into the middle of your mat or your lower back. Go. And then you grab pillows or bolsters or whatever you got. Place it on the bottom. And then your other roll will be for your neck. So it doesn't have to be so high. And you put that at the top. And then the way to get into this is to start with the hips, which are going to go between the bolster or your pillows and your lumbar support. And then you lower yourself down, make sure that's right. If you're not used to rolling up for your lumbar, you may take a couple of shots to make sure you have it right. So in a restorative pose, you only want to feel about 5 to 10%. So once you have that, then you can lift your head up and grab your other roll and place it underneath your neck. And then as you get used to the support, you might have to adjust the props. And in this posture, every kind of bend of the body away from the ground, away from the earth, is supported by the props. So your neck, lumbar, and knees. One could argue your ankles, but they'll be. And let's try a body scan here. See how the body is doing. How are your feet? Is there tension in your feet? You can let go. And the toes, and the arches, ankles and shins. And then move your attention to your thighs, to the backs of your legs, the hamstrings, front of your thighs, hip flexors. You should feel pretty supported right now. And move into the glutes, the lower back, that's feeling the support of the front. Moving into the belly. It's currently extended because of the lumbar support. Moving into your middle and upper back, touching the ground. Solar plexus, chest, lifting up. So anywhere you can let go. Can you let go? Move your attention to your shoulders, shoulder blades, reaching into the arms, the triceps, the biceps, elbows and forearms, palms and fingers, wrists, thumbs. Thumbs are secret places where we like to store tension. Pull your attention back up into your neck, throat. Move your attention to the base of your skull, back of your skull, top of your head, into your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, eye sockets, cheekbones, your lips, jaw. Where can you let go of? On your next inhale, slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And bend your knees one at a time. Place the bottoms of your feet onto your bolster or your feet. You're going to roll onto your good side. If you have a side that is tender and you don't like to roll on it, don't roll on that side, roll on the other one. And then with your top arm, push your hand down into the floor. to push yourself up, and then hold for a moment. Just allow the spine to kind of come back into more of its neutral stance. And then come all the way up. And then find your seat again. Take the time to set it up. So the seat that we took when we were doing the seated poses, the twists, where the knees were below the crests of the hips. And you can take easy sitting pose, that cross-legged pose. If it's too hard to sit, if there's something going on with your lower back and it just really is sitting on the ground is too much, you can lie right back down. So I've certainly done meditations laying down. And then from here, you close your eyes, have your head over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips as much as possible. So you might have to lean back a fair amount. And then what to do with the hands. Hands are just auxiliary, so that you want it. The most important thing is to have your elbows pulled in so that their elbows are just beneath the shoulders. You're not pulling the shoulders. And just as we started the class, we can end the class by focusing on the breath. And what's interesting in like the 8 limbs of yoga, the physical practice in terms of ordering of events, if you will, for the breath practice, which comes before you start moving into a more meditative place. So it very much acknowledges that the body is very much part of this process of moving into a place of peacefulness, I would say. It's on the path. So even if you can take one moment to pull in, that's a practice well worth it. And then you can take your hands together in front of your heart. If you're comfortable with that, bow your head to yourself. And then take your hands down on your thighs, lift your head, open the eyes, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It was good to see you guys.